My name's Miles, Daniel Miles, and this is a retro dunking of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Alright, let's break it down. This is the final film in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and it deals with the end of the Clone War and the beginning of the Galactic Empire, and it's set about 30 years before Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Now, a friend of mine once told me that the Order 66 scene makes up for the previous two films. It really doesn't. I mean, it's an awesome scene, and definitely the best scene in the entire Star Wars prequel trilogy. It does not make up for the 6 hours that comes before it. Again, this is a film where the plot is relatively simple, there's a sense of inevitability about it, and it does actually have some good lines of dialogue. Natalie Portman's line, "So this is how liberty dies with thunderous applause," I believe is one of the great lines in cinematic history. Unfortunately, it suffers from a lot of the same issues as the previous two. Incredible overuse of CGI. I think in every scene, every shot, something's been tweaked. Hopefully they're going to tone that down for the new one. If you put so much CGI in a film, it starts to look like a cartoon. Hayden Christensen again plays Darth Vader as a backstreet boy throwing a sulk. Still has no chemistry with Natalie Portman. When they're supposed to be this young couple in love, he looks like a man who's doing the right thing after a one-night stand went wrong. And I don't believe in their romance in the slightest. Natalie Portman does put in an excellent performance, but it's a shame that she's not really given much to do other than sit on the sidelines and look worried and pregnant. Ewan McGregor is amazing as Obi-Wan Kenobi. He nails what it's like to be a young Alec McGuinness. I truly believe that this Obi-Wan turns up in 30 years' time as A New Hope. And unfortunately, this film has so many plot holes when you compare it to the original trilogy. And it does do a ham-fisted effort at the end to try and tie up some of those plot holes, but even so, a couple of rewrites on the script would have been needed. The lightsaber fight at the end is fantastic. The action is really good. I mean, if they had toned down the CGI, yeah, I would have really enjoyed this film a lot more. I liked General Grievous. I would have liked a little bit of a backstory on him, as I feel he was underused. Now, if you've ever thought that this film seems a bit choppy and the plot seems more of a mess than usual, well, it originally ran to 4 hours. The opening act of rescuing Senator Palpatine was actually over an hour long in the original cut, so it's all been drastically cut down in order to put it into something that cinematic audiences will tolerate. So if you've ever thought it looked a little bit choppy and a little bit like scenes are missing, they probably are, as over 2 hours of this film is missing. Ian McDiarmid as Senator Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine, he's absolutely brilliant. You see him go through so many things, you know, a charmer, and then he goes into full-on Emperor mode. I mean, there are a few moments when he's so hammy you could string him up in a butcher's shop, but he's clearly having the time of his life, and he does have some great scenes in this. It's also nice to see Sam Jackson being allowed to kick ass as opposed to just sit on a chair and mutter the terrible dialogue, and it is great to see him in a fight scene. And I do wish that they made more use of the calibre of actor that they were able to attract for this film. Now, this was the highest grossing film in the US of the year, but worldwide it was defeated by Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And I personally think that Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is a superior film to this. On the whole, this is a better film. The direction seems a little tighter, the plot's been kept really rather simple, and it's got some amazing scenes when Anakin does turn to the dark side, and I do feel that this is the best film in the prequel trilogy. It's still not a classic by any stretch of the imagination. There's way too much CGI, the actors have no chemistry, the dialogue is still woeful. I do feel that with the extra weight given to some of the scenes, and the fact that Hayden Christensen is given whole scenes where he's just let to do things. And when he's not speaking, Hayden Christensen gives an amazing performance. I'm still going to rate this film an if nothing else. If nothing else is on, you've seen the other two and you want to see this, yeah, I agree that you should watch this film. It is also nice to see Jar Jar Binks reduced to a non-speaking role after he inadvertently created the Galactic Empire in the previous film. I'm Daniel, this is Dunking. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.